Hi, this is Susan Broder from Speak Languages and Travel the World, your English teacher to help you with your fluency. Now, today I'd like to talk to you about some vocabulary out and about. And I'm really lucky because my son is studying to be a pilot. And so a few weeks ago, I had the honor of being taken on my first flight with him on a small Cessna. And I took some films, and therefore I decided to use some of the materials for learning vocabulary. It makes it much more interesting and exciting to do so when things are realia, as I call them. So let's have a look at a few pictures and see what I'm talking about. Okay, so because you can practically use, oh dear, sorry, it doesn't seem to have turned. Oh, that's annoying. Let me try sharing again, because I think, there we are. I think you're seeing things backwards, are you? Or the right way around? Oh no, fantastic. For a moment I saw the vocabulary backwards. Okay, so I was saying that it's very nice because you can use these pictures for learning vocabulary, and I used Jing, which is an application I downloaded for making screenshots and labeling very quickly and very easily. And so this is something that if you want to practice your vocabulary, I recommend you do. It makes it a little more fun. So this picture here, you can see, is obviously me in the back of the plane, has been taken to explain how you can use vocabulary for describing. So I put in blue how you can describe a picture. So we have on the right hand side, on the left hand side, in the background, in the foreground. So in the foreground we have a picture of me, a photo of me. In the background you can see down below some fields. On the right hand side and on the left hand side are parts of the plane. And you can also say at the bottom or at the top of the picture. Now, at the top of the picture on the left-hand side, there is the rear window. Rear means back. And behind my head, you can see the headrest, whilst I'm wearing headphones so I can communicate with everyone in the plane. So now you can see the front of the plane. The front of the plane is called the cockpit. And the cockpit, there we have a picture of my son at the controls. Now the controls are a word which often confuses people, because people confuse control and check. So controls are things that you control with. So in this case, the dashboard is full of controls because you need to monitor many things and control the plane with it. And at the front, you can see we're pointing towards the runway. The runway, in this case, is grass, but in any case, it's the road, so to speak, from which an airplane takes off. Okay, now we can go up and see what I managed to take pictures of from above. Let's start with this one here. Here we have different types of houses. So I wanted to distinguish terraced houses from blocks of flats, which in American is called condominium blocks. Terraced houses are, you can see particularly in the middle of the picture, some grey and white terraced houses. So white terraced houses with a grey roof. They are all houses which are close one to the other. They're connected, and so they are called terraced houses. They usually have a tiny front or back garden, but terraced houses have the characteristic that they're all connected, whilst blocks of flats are one on top of the other. Okay, to distinguish, I think I also have, yes, exactly, a picture of a detached house. So a detached house is a single house. In England, we have detached houses, but we also have semi-detached houses, which are one big house divided into two for two families. Then let's see what else I had planned to observe. Ah, yes. So I wanted to also observe how the roads are made up. And what is finally becoming more widespread around Europe are the roundabouts. In England, we've been using roundabouts since I can remember, so since I was born, whilst in other places in Europe, roundabouts were not so common. And now they're becoming very common too. And I find roundabouts are particularly useful because they regulate the traffic better. Okay, so here we have a picture of a football pitch, then an athletics track. It's not really recognizable from a distance, but this is actually what we call in British English a petrol station, or I think the Americans call it a gas station. And this is in the countryside. Actually, on the right-hand side of the picture, we see a lot of fields, whilst on the left-hand side, it's a built-up area, so it's a small town. Now, let's see what else I had planned to show you. Oh dear, I've lost it. Ah, yes. So here we have the main road, which goes past the petrol station. And main road is different from what we call a motorway, which I think the Americans call highway, if I'm not mistaken. So the motorway is a very fast road. Yes, you can see. And actually, I haven't labeled it, but there's also a bridge going over the motorway so that the fields and the villages and towns on the left and on the right can be connected. So motorway or highway, as opposed to a normal road, a main road or a secondary road. I think I have one more picture to show you. Ah, no, yes. This is the last of the series. So here is a larger roundabout in front of a car park and a supermarket. So I find it's nice to get a different perspective and to be able to practice vocabulary in this way. And so I recommend you download Jing, J-I-N-G, and try this activity yourself. Any photo, you can go around, I mean, in daily life and take pictures of things that you see, and then just when you have time, put them on your computer and label them. It's a fun way of memorizing vocabulary and even sort of short phrases. And it's a way of making learning, well, more interesting, but also it gets fixed better in your brain if you do fun activities that you can connect with it. So this is something I recommend. So I hope this was a useful lesson. And don't forget to download your fast fluency tips and fast fluency training exercises in the description below. And if you haven't already, you must absolutely subscribe so you'll know when I've got the next video coming out. Have a nice day and see you again tomorrow. Bye.